What's up? What's up? This is GNT. Today we have some great topics. Memory of Muhammad Ali. T-Mobile is giving away stock to their customers. Apple is dropping a new 5K screen. Let's go.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live's Geek Nerd Tech.
Say what? Say what? Welcome to GNT. Geek Nerd Tech, the show where we break down geek and nerd culture from a black and brown perspective. I have a great person on the show today, Jerome Daughtry, my man.
Yes,
What's
sir.
good?
Yes,
Welcome.
Sir. Yes, sir. Man, I'm happy to be here, man. It's been forever.
Man, finally got you up here, man.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here, though.
How's the day treating you?
It's been a good day. It's a little gloomy out here in LA, but everything's good.
Okay, there it is, man. So we'll get into some topics for today, but I want to introduce our audience to kind of what you do and the brand that you're building, Hope and Hustle.
Right.
So we'll definitely touch that later. But first off, man, we have this topic that Google has found a way to make music with artificial intelligence.
Right, but speaking of music, this original Dead Presidents is the coldest hip-hop track of all time.
Classico, right?
Classic, man. Classic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But yeah, that's interesting because I've seen that. I mean, when you think about how music is being made nowadays, it's obviously a big cultural shift because people are losing some of the musicality. Like some of the biggest artists in music are DJs who are using laptops and things to create music. So it's not really the same, but I think we have to appreciate where it's going.
Right.
And if you listen to the track that Google made, it's simplistic, but it's mind blowing to know that a human didn't make that composition.
Exactly.
So it's crazy.
So for you guys out there listening, Google has this thing called Magenta, where essentially an AI is able to learn various notes of the musical scale and learn different patterns and sequences and put together its own sequence.
Yeah.
And so what it's done is put together kind of like how would you describe the music?
Yeah, it almost sounds like a Sega game. It sounds like you guys are like the final boss of a Sega game, and like the composition almost like 8-bit.
Got you.
But you can see where it's going because it has a melodic element to it.
Absolutely.
So you can see that with time, and obviously as the hardware develops with the software, that is going to be incredible.
Right. So do you think that this is something that will diminish the value of music, to have a computer essentially have the ability to be able to create music? Do you see that as a positive or a negative?
I think it's a positive. Anything with that advancement of technology to me is positive. But I think that when you combine someone like with the genius of Kanye, and you give him this paintbrush to create new music with, then I think that's when you really see how it can be used. Right now, you just have what it seems like some engineers pushing play and seeing what happens. But when you put it in the hands of some of these masterminds of music, I think you'll really see where it can go.
Man, I think a lot of people would disagree with that, though, in terms of like the musical purists that say, hey, like even the people that think that having an MP3 or having a digitized form of music is already diminishing the value of music creation and music consumption. Like now you're saying that a computer is creating the music. Like so how does that like big up the person that spent their whole life learning how to play an instrument, learning how to play the keys, learning how to play a bass. Now a computer can do it in literally 30 seconds. I think that's kind of like that makes me feel weird.
I get how it can make you pull back because you're kind of wondering this is how we've always done it, but rock and roll at one point was a new form of music that people said, what is this? This is not how we have always done it. Hip hop was a new form of music. It's not how it's always been done. So I think it's just the next step. It's the 21st century step into music, and I think it should be welcome.
Okay, I hear you, bro. I hear you.
I'm
so now you could say you're a musician now because you have the AI backing you.
Straight up.
All right, man. Well, that's cool. So Uber, I'm sure you're familiar with Uber.
Yes, I'm an Uber, not Lyft guy.
Man, I just read an article the other day saying that Uber is the number one startup in terms of its valuation in the world. It's valued at almost $63 billion. And they just got a $3.5 billion investment from Saudi Arabia to have more penetration in that country. Well, specifically in that country. And so what do you think about that? Because I guess the topic at hand is in Saudi Arabia, women don't have as many rights as men. And one of the things they can't do, they're not allowed to drive, right? So how does, and what they've been fighting for is to have more equality in terms of, various things that they can do. And having one of the biggest companies in the world come into that country now, it kind of like shuns them from having that opportunity. Obviously, oil is one of their biggest products, and now this could be something that's explosive for the economy, but women can't participate.
Right.
What's your thoughts?
I mean, well, as far my thoughts on Uber, I do think Uber is an incredible company, and it's interesting that they do this play because I don't think Uber's end game is to have as many people sign up to be drivers. I think they're trying to control the auto industry from financing to ownership to taxi cab service. So as it relates to Saudi Arabia, I mean it's tough because without going too far into politics and saying how they run their country, like I get it from Uber's perspective, like get it everywhere you can. But it does, I mean, as an American and as someone who advocates for women's rights as well, it sucks that, they can't be part of something that's iconic and history in the making. I
think it super sucks. I think that a company should have more corporate responsibility. If they're going to do business in the country, they should have at least a bar which they say, this is our value. We're not going to devalue our business just to make money. And I think because...
But wouldn't the world be a better place if most companies
Of course.
But
this is a new company. This is a new company emerging with new technology. So they should have a different spirit about it.
A new standard of way to do things. Right. I agree. I mean,
but my position is not that strong. I'll still continue to support Uber.
Right.
And I mean, I just think it's amazing in terms of their expansion internationally, like what they've been able to do in such a short period of time. But we had this conversation actually a couple of weeks ago. Are you a Uber guy versus Lyft?
1,000%.
Tell me why.
Well, honestly, I think it's just because I was exposed to Uber first, and then I saw like the pink mustache and the gimmicky cars and stuff.
I'm just surprising me because I thought you would want Lyft better because it fits more to your aesthetic,
Stop, man, stop. I was using it first for professional, like to get to go to different meetings and stuff when I was out of town for work. And so I was like, I can't pull up to this building with the pink mustache in front of the whip. Like I can't do it. Okay. So ever since then, it's been Uber all the way.
Okay. Well, that's what's up, man. More power to Uber and more power to women's rights in Saudi Arabia and throughout the world. But yeah, let's move on. There's this product called Zenbo. They created this robot that is very similar to the BB-8 in Star Wars. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I did. I see it.
So this robot has the sophistication to be able to talk, listen, look up stuff. It moves. It's able to take pictures. It's able to do all sorts. It has an amazing functionality.
It's like a tangible Siri.
Exactly.
Right.
Is this something that you would purchase? It costs about $800.
I don't think so yet, man. I mean, that technology, like as far as environmental recognition software and hardware, it's been around for a while. And nothing's been too impressive. Like a boy of mine has the Amazon Echo. And it's supposed to be like the center of your household and you talk to it and stuff. Eventually, it kind of gets kind of gimmicky.
You think so?
I think it gets a little gimmicky. It's just one of those things where I don't know if it's exactly there yet. Like virtual reality, like you put it on and you expect to be blown away by it. But then when you see it, you're kind of like... It's not all the way there yet.
Okay.
But I like the idea of it, and especially if it looked like the BB-8, because that thing is dope.
That thing is super fresh.
It's super dope.
Man. Yeah. I mean, but I foresee that maybe within the next 5 to 7 years, this product will be more common than not.
Agree.
We'll have some type of AI, some type of robotic built into our home that we engage with and interact with, like just a person,
Right.
And
it's like, did you ever play Halo?
Of course.
Yeah, Cortana, like Microsoft's doing with Cortana, it's the exact same thing. When that comes to life, that's going to be incredible.
Man, especially when the price point comes down, it's affordable, that's going to be crazy. You step into the house and, meet my robot.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't want to name my robot though. I wanted to have if I could create a personality for my robot, so it's kind of like my boy, yo, what's cracking? That would be cool.
That's what's up, man. I mean, this is off topic, but we talk about all the time artificial intelligence and how we've kind of in the last 10 years, we've been in this app space where, you download apps and people develop apps and that's how you get your information. Mm-hmm. But now we're moving into a bot age where you don't have to type anything now. You just speak into your phone and the AI, the technology will find that information for you and speak to you like it's a human being. Do you think that is the future wave of technology? Bot technology versus app technology?
That's interesting. I think so. I'm not exactly sure. I go back to examples like I have an Xbox One and I use my Kinect. And the Kinect was supposed to be the game-changing device for Microsoft. That's what set it apart from the PlayStation. And it's one of those things, too, where you use it and it's kind of like, is it exactly what it's supposed to be? So I think conceptually incredible. But right now, it's not there yet. So when you say hey, order me a sandwich, and it's like, okay, I'm sending you to somewhere else. That's where it kind of distracts you from what it could be. But absolutely, as the future, I'm sure we're going to become much less tactile.
Got you.
And very much so just speak it and watch it come.
There it is,
from
man.
Amazon.
There it is. All right, man. Are you, I mean, I know you have an Instagram and Twitter. Are you on Facebook?
Yes, I'm still on Facebook. I'm one of like those old dinosaurs. Yeah, that has my college email on Facebook. Yeah, I'm one of those.
So Facebook is actually doing a huge push into the video game industry.
Man.
And what they're making a huge power play with this in the sense that they're trying to have their API open to game developers where they can actually stream the live play onto your Facebook feed. Like sort of like Twitch, sort of like YouTube.
Right.
And so, I mean, those are the biggest competitors with the video game industry, and that's $1 billion industry in terms of the streaming element.
Right.
And I know you're into video games.
Yes.
Is this a good move for Facebook?
1,000,000,000%. So, I mean, I remember I'm an old school gamer. I used to play like Counter-Strike and Half-Life, like, 1998 PC games. And back in the day, you didn't get, like, obviously you didn't have these streaming services, so you would literally log on to the server as like another player and watch somebody else play.
Got you.
And so people
This is your friend in Virginia, right?
Yeah, shout out to Demetrius, my boy.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, that's but yeah, that's what we used to do. Like we used to log in, we used to watch people play games, like, so Twitch wasn't the first, but Twitch is the biggest.
Absolutely.
And so, YouTube came into space as well. It makes natural sense. That's where most people are on Facebook. I'm interested to see how obtrusive it's going to be on your timeline.
What do you mean?
Like on your timeline, the way that Facebook's UI is with everything. I get live videos on my timeline right now as you're scrolling. I'm not going to live like scroll and say I want to watch Overwatch right now. That's kind of like time that you parse out. Got you. But I think it's absolutely the appropriate move for him.
I think you have to get in this space or you're going to be run over, right?
100%.
So I mean, I think this is definitely a power move because think about it. Facebook has over 1.2 billion users, like around the world. People play video games,
right? And it's all these moms playing Farmville.
Yes, sir. I mean. Go ahead.
No, I think it's dope. But one thing I haven't really figured out is how do the players monetize that streaming? So
because you can monetize on Twitch.
Right. You can monetize from people coming in and viewing you at a mass level. But one thing, I mean, this is a shout out to any player that's advanced out there. I would do coaching sessions. I would say, you get like the password to my Facebook, and I'm going to show you every strategy I use in every match and monetize that way. But so opening up that world to these players where before they didn't really have that,
that's a very good point, because if I have Twitch and YouTube as an option for monetization and Facebook's not offering me anything, why would I use it,
Why?
Like for what?
Right, exactly.
That's a great point, actually. I hope they adopt that or build that into their live stream.
Right.
Great point, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we got to pay some bills, man. Have you heard of Chapman University?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's located in Orange County, California, 16 miles from the beach. It's a little bit over 30 miles from Los Angeles. Yeah. And it's minutes from Disneyland and the Angel Stadium. It's tree-lined, 75-acre campus. It's in the heart of the historical city of Orange. It's about 8,000 students that are enrolled there in undergraduate and graduate programs. They're best known for their programs in film and television and business, science and technology, education, health sciences, and the arts. They got the whole thing.
There's the whole shebang.
The whole shebang. So with 10 different schools and colleges and more than 100 different majors and programs, there's literally something for everyone to do. In terms of free time, there's tons of stuff to do on campus and off. They're close to 200 clubs and student organizations there. When you were in college, were you involved in an organization?
Man, I was involved in almost every organization.
There it is.
Shout out to Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Well, Chapman got a grip of them. So it's a comprehensive university that still provides personalized attention for all its students. The classes are small and intimate. The student-faculty ratio is 14-1. Ooh. There are literally dozens of opportunities to study abroad for short trips or for an entire semester. But here's the best part. 86% of students benefit from some sort of financial aid.
Pop it.
So you don't have to pay for all of it yourself, right? I mean, because, man, college education is not cheap.
Can someone disrupt like college tuition fees or something?
Man, I'm serious. So for more information, check out chapman.edu/information. That's chapman.edu/information. Chapman University, man.
Yeah. I went to Cal Poly. We're very familiar with Chapman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, let's move on and proceed, man. Are you a big blogger? I mean, consumption.
Oh, consumption?
Yeah, consumption.
Yeah, all day.
Okay.
But you know what's funny? I recently switched to a vlogger. Like, I watch YouTube and watch vlogs all day long. My wife will tell you every time she walks in, I'm not watching TV. I'm probably watching a YouTube vlog.
Okay. I mean, are you kind of like on BuzzFeed a lot, or not as much?
Yeah. I'll jump on BuzzFeed or Huffington just to consume for the day.
Got you. Well, man, this is an interesting story with BuzzFeed. They're taking, and we talked about corporate responsibility early in the show, but this is like a perfect example of corporate entities taking a stand for something. So Donald Trump obviously is the RNC candidate, right?
Right.
They're saying that they're not going to take the ad deal that they established with the RNC because of Trump. They're saying that Trump and some of the languaging that he's been using and some of the things that he's been saying in interviews is
like my African American. Like look at my African American over there, that type of language. Okay,
it's just as damaging as kids smoking or anyone smoking cigarettes.
Wow.
And so they're drawing a line in this and saying we're not going to have a business relationship with you because of the damaging effects of Donald Trump.
Wow.
And until that changes, like we are not going to take any money from you. We'll cover your stories and we'll give you that fair, equal opportunity to have your information, but we're not going to take any money from you.
Right, so we'll give you a non-biased approach to as far as your content, but we won't take your money to promote yourself.
So my question to you is, as a corporation, do you think that this is the perfect example of corporate responsibility?
I do think so, in context of what we talked about with Uber recently. And I also wonder if that was just an intelligent business play, knowing that millennials seem to be the most hesitant for Donald Trump. And so those are the people that are probably consuming the most BuzzFeed. So them seeing that it looks like BuzzFeed is kind of on their side, I think it's an intelligent play. Okay.
Man, I mean, I kind of like this. I like the fact that a company from the top is saying, and I think the president wrote a letter saying this is my thoughts about it. This is why I think this is important. I'm gonna take this stance because I don't agree with it. I don't agree that this man is pumping for poison, and I'm not gonna do business with you.
Right.
You know, so until you change your dialogue. That's a huge deal.
That's a big deal because media. I mean, those media buys. That's where the money's at.
That's everything.
Yeah.
That's everything. All right, man. Well, hey, I like your take on that one. That was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
T-Mobile is giving customers a part of the company. You're on T-Mobile, right?
I am on T-Mobile, and I'm even happier now because I know what you're talking about.
Okay. So what we talking about, man?
We're talking about T-Mobile Tuesdays.
What's that?
Yeah, T-Mobile Tuesdays. So I was on Twitter, of course, and I saw that that T-Mobile was posting that if you download the T-Mobile Tuesdays app, you'll get free stuff every week. And one of the first offerings that they had was a share.
Okay.
And so
wait, what do you mean a share?
Share of the company.
Like a piece of the company?
Like literally, you got obviously it's a little micro piece, but it's still one share. It's one share of the company. I like investing, so I was like, I'm gonna snatch that up. So I downloaded it. They had a little problem with the app at first because so many people were trying to do it.
Right.
But once you download it, you got to share the company. You got a free pizza.
So there's giveaways too?
Yeah, every Tuesday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, T-Mobile was really trying to take a different approach to the cell phone industry, which I can appreciate. Service a little spotty, but other than that, I mean, that
business model is kind of crazy though. Like,
insane.
I don't think I've ever read or heard of anything like that where they'll actually give a piece of the company to its customers, and then I read it's offering like if you recommend me, you get another share, and you can get up to 100 per year. That's kind of sick.
That's insane. That's better than getting like $20 off your phone bill. You know, like that
because
share,
the appreciation of T-Mobile, that could pay off in the future. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can get up to 100 shares. I really hope people take advantage of that because it's dope.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Well, you ain't gonna sign me up.
I don't even think you got a smartphone, bro. It's all good.
I mean, you still on T-Mobile, bro? Come on, dog.
Hey, we getting shares. We got pizzas and stuff. I'll stick with T-Mobile for now.
Okay. Are you a PC guy or Apple guy?
I am an Apple. You know what's funny? I'm starting to say I'm an Apple guy, but in my heart, I've been a PC guy. I think PC is always gonna have a special place in my heart, but right now I'm an Apple guy.
Okay. Well, you know us creatives.
I know you're a paintbrush guy with a canvas.
Well, anyway, Apple, man, they're about to drop a new display, a new 5K display.
Yo, can we appreciate 4K? Like 4K hasn't even dropped.
But I'm excited about this because, you know, obviously I work a lot with imagery and videos and all that stuff, and to be able to have, you know, a 5K display at my disposal, I think would help my creativity, it would help my imagination, it would help my workflow, it would help everything. I am an Apple guy. I have everything Apple, and I'm super excited about this actually because I think within the next couple of years, we'll see more 4K content.
Right.
And to be able to have the technology to be able to build that, you know, at my workspace,
right.
I mean, I think it's going to be pretty dope. So.
But what's interesting about what you said is what you can build, but consumers aren't ready to consume.
They're not?
No. How many people have 4K displays that you know? So you can build as much 4K content as you want. If people at home don't have it to consume it, then it's going to be 1080. You know, it's going to be. True. It's just going to be just what they're used to. I mean, Netflix shot House of Cards in 4K.
Yeah, but you can stream it. You can stream it if you pay for the monthly.
But if you got your 32-inch Vizio from Walmart for $398, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, so I think that's dope. I think it's dope that, you know, from an artist perspective, it's so fresh. But I'm wondering, how does Apple say, okay, how do we get consumers ready to consume this 5K?
Right,
content.
But you could consume it on your computer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You could.
And another thing about this 5K display is that, say you had like a computer that didn't have all the nuts and bolts of, say, like a newer desktop.
Right.
Like, you could hook up this display to your like whatever, and you have the best imagery. That's what I like about it, because it has a low entry point. You don't have to buy the whole system. You know what I'm saying? It's just a display. It's not has
the independent GPU.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. That's game changing.
That's what I'm saying.
That's game changing, because I mean, you know, just for people that have to, you know, first of all, general consumers that aren't building, that aren't familiar with, you know, kind of putting the Lego pieces together to put their rig together, to have the display have its own processing power.
Exactly.
That is crazy.
Yeah, you could take your laptop from the one that you have from 1997 and plug that joint right in, and you're good to go. You can come over and work with some powers.
Hey man, we'll see. We'll see. Anything to help me get over it. That's funny.
Yes, sir, man. So before I get out of the Apple conversation, are you going to? I mean, do you buy a new phone every year when it comes out, or are you kind of every other year?
No,
like,
yeah,
how do you
I'm
do
one
that?
of those guys. I'm kind of cheap, so I'm one of those guys who kind of waits for the after the S. So I'll go from the 5 to the 7, from the 7 to the 9, like that type of thing.
Got you.
So I am waiting for the 7, although the reports I read are saying that the 7 is kind of going to be another one of those whatever type of years, and
just
then,
like, oh great.
Yeah, exactly.
One more pixel.
For real, like how much better can the camera get?
Right.
You know, taking snapshots of my in and out, but. It's supposed to. They said that the 8 is going to be the big device changing the sizing. Okay. So I'm gonna get the 7 just because this 5 is like on his last leg. It's like that old dog you want to put down. But yeah, I'm one of those I skip a generation type dudes.
Touche, my man.
What about you?
I'm the same. Like I'm not a consumer that will just hop and just buy everything. I like to, if it has like a major advancement or a breakthrough, then I'm like, yo, I gotta grab that. But like you said, like most in the last few years, the advancement hasn't been like too like pushing me over. You know what I'm saying? So
that's why that stock price is low key been going down too. Like I feel like it's missing some of the innovation that like the magic. Yeah,
Steve was bringing to the game.
Yeah, the magic that we used to have. Like if you look at their device layout, they all look like mini and bigger versions of the same thing.
Kind of becoming mediocre a little bit, right?
I hate to say
that, but it is. Like unless they come with some like breakthroughs, like I don't know.
Right. But hey, we'll see. I mean, what I'm hoping is that Samsung doesn't eat its lunch, because Samsung is constantly
innovating.
Trying to innovate.
Well, I mean, they have to. Right. Because I mean, they're not. Even though Apple stock is going down, they're still bringing in boatloads of money compared to anyone else.
Right.
So, well, yeah, man. That's what's up, bro. When you buy one for yourself, just pick me up one too.
I got you.
You got me?
I'll write it off.
All right, straight
I'll write it off. Get on the charity.
So have you been keeping up with like the Zika virus news?
I see it. I'm not too familiar with it. I just see that a lot of people are afraid to go, to anywhere.
I know, man. This athletes pulling out the Olympics. There's all sorts of stuff happening, man.
Right, yeah.
Well, I mean, anyway, I heard that they have this new breakthrough where they found this protein that it actually inhibits the infection, and specifically the Zika virus affects women in particular. But they're saying that there's one protein that will inhibit the infection if you build more into your body.
Like a human protein, like
it's already in your body, but if you have more of it, it will pretty much the effects of the Zika virus won't be as destructive and detrimental to you. So I don't know if this is going to matter for like the Olympics or for people going over there, but I just want to get your take on it. What do you think?
I mean, that's tough. I mean, if you put me in the Olympic Games for basketball,
stop it right now.
For basketball, I feel like it would be hard pressed to get me not to go. Like
really?
I'm representing my country.
What happens if you're married with kids and is your family coming with you?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the opportunity to represent your country, but I get it is opportunity to die too.
You want to your woman has it, and like the next kid you have, like
that's tough. That's tough. I mean, but I think that the people are trying to figure out how to fight it. So I'd feel a little like, you know what, I represent the United States. Maybe they protect me, while I'm trying to go out. But yeah, would you go?
I would go, and I'm actually priming myself to go. I'm working with an athlete that will be over there.
Oh, word.
And I think a lot of it is kind of like scare tactics. You got to think, man, the Zika virus has been around since 1960. It's all over the world. It's in the United States. There's been cases in the United States. And, I mean, the country of Brazil has over 200 million people. Like, 200 million people don't have the virus. They live in the country. Like, so, I mean, I think if it's you got to be a smart traveler. You got to know where you are, what locations you're at, what the environment is, and just make good decisions. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want to go to the favelas and be chilling.
Exactly.
Like, oh snap! Like I got the joint now.
So yeah, man. I mean, it's something I'm definitely researching a little bit more as the Olympics approach.
So you said you're gonna go?
I mean, as of right now, it's a yes, but that might change depending on more of the research and information that I get. Like if it seems like it could be too risky, then I probably won't, because I don't want to risk, my family or risk my health, So
do they have like a creative Olympics or something?
Stop it.
Like what would be your event? Like Photoshop?
My event would be everything, bro.
Okay.
Everything.
Imagination,
everything.
artistry.
Capital letters. Well, yeah, man. It's kind of a great segue in terms of this next topic. Is this device that actually can diagnose malaria in 5 seconds. And malaria, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, is a gruesome disease that affects like 10 to 20 plus millions of people every year.
Right.
And I mean, there's no cure for it, but they do have preventative things that you can do to maintain your health. But this new technology is saying that it can diagnose it in 5 seconds to see if you have it, and then once you know that you have it, then you can get the help. Exactly. Versus before, you might be walking around with it, sneezing on people, like passing
you on the plane sitting next to me. I'm like, bro.
So I think this technology is cool in the sense that it at least builds awareness.
Right.
And so, I want to see what you thought about it.
Yeah, I heard about that story, and it was some students that made or that discovered or created this device, I should say. And so, first of all, it's the fact that students are thinking of solving problems like that gives me hope in America. Like,
100.
If anything's going to make America great again, it's that, young people trying to.
Okay, Jerome Trump. I can't believe you said that, actually, but it's all good. Continue.
So like, with students innovating like that's encouraging to see. But, I mean, to be able to diagnose it in 5 minutes versus people that never know that they have it, and you're walking around until you get sick. But it's interesting because I believe the device costs like $100. Right. So, and it's just to tell you that you have it.
Right.
So when you think
that's kind of pricey though.
Yeah, that's incredibly pricey. If you think about the massive amount of people that are affected by it.
Right. And how? And most of the people that are affected by it are poor.
Impoverished.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So that's why I'm and it's not to knock the technology, because I love the fact that the technology exists now.
Right.
But I do wonder how we're going to use that because it's so expensive.
Well, I agree, but I think the more usage, the price point will come down. It'll scale down. So I think, there has to be some type of subsidy or some type of maybe nonprofit that can come in and help.
Right.
But I love the technology.
That's incredible, dude. It's blowing my mind that students.
Yeah.
Like that student said, you know what, let's solve this problem.
Exactly.
That's incredible, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. All right, bro, man. I really would love to get your takes on this, man. This was something that actually affected me kind of emotionally. We were just talking about this offline about how, when Michael Jackson passed away, Prince passed away, we kind of felt certain things that were part of our childhood and part of, a lot of memories built in.
Everything, yeah.
But man, Muhammad Ali. The king, bro, the greatest.
Man, the GOAT.
The greatest of all time.
Of all time.
Man.
That one hurt, man.
Give me your takes, bro.
That one hurt. It's not like I grew up watching him fight, obviously, but my dad, like seeing how much he meant to my dad. And it's not only like because he was his favorite boxer, but also just for what he stood for.
Right.
And anyone that can say, you know what, my principles matter to me more than money, more than this, civic duty that you've put on me. Like that, it hurt. It just hurt to see someone that powerful, someone that meant so much to the people that look like me go.
Yeah. For me, like I obviously wasn't around when Ali was fighting. I think his last.
Weren't?
Stop it. I think his last fight was in '82 when I was 2 years old or something. I think it was in the '80s somewhere.
Okay.
But man, Ali was such a cultural icon, international. icon, like a poet, an activist. I don't think we'll ever see an athlete ever like him.
Take that stand
that
like
would
he
be
did?
vocal, that will take a stand,
No way.
that will, be committed to his principles.
Right.
That will show the braggadocio that he showed, show the bravado, like community centered.
Or it may be athletes like that, but not in the level of athlete that he was to be the
he was the greatest. He was the greatest, the king, the champ, and willing to sacrifice his whole career based on what he stood
on his
for.
principles.
Like,
That's
who's
crazy.
doing that? No one's doing that in 2016.
No way.
No athlete would do that.
No way.
And I think, to have him kind of as our example, as our prototype of what you could be, what man you could be as a celebrity, as an athlete, as whatever. Like, I think that is very empowering, and I take that. One of my last companies, our imagery was based, our brand imagery was based on Muhammad Ali. Because he represented, being great in the ring, but being great in the community too. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's sad, but it's also empowering.
Yeah, it's empowering too. And we talked about like how athletes at that level may not be able to take the stands that he did, but that's not to say that the average Joe at your job
100
can't take the stance that he did. That you can be empowered to say, you know what, I'm going to stand for my principles more than
great point.
More than get this paycheck.
Great point.
Or get any other recognition.
Great point. So let me swing this one by you. So why do you think that is, though? Why do you think the LeBrons, the Kobes, the top dogs of the world would never take a stand for like Black Lives Matter or for any issue that is happening within the Black community, like education or prison industrial complex? Like, why don't we have athletes vocal about those things? What's your take?
It's hard to speak on any other person's intentions. I can give my own speculation based on what I see, and I would imagine that it's because of the almighty dollar. Like, you can see how fast sponsorships are pulled, and obviously the media controls your popularity. And so media, if they feel like you're not the person that they want to promote, they pull back on that based off of what you're saying. That is to say that there is money in controversy as well. But when you're taking stances, like, for example, like you talk about Black Lives Matter, and someone takes a stance on Black Lives Matter, as soon as you associate yourself with that, that group, anything that they do reflects on you as well. So I don't know if I'd be as quick to say, you know what, I take a stance for this group, and I have no control over what that group does. And so now that group can directly and indirectly affect everything about my life, monetarily and representationally, and I have no control over it. So I get it from their perspective, but at the same time, with so many issues going on with the Black community, like you said, education, and you talk about the prison industrial complex, those are issues that are long-standing, that are historically, issues with the Black community. I don't think there's much risk in speaking out about it and saying, you know what, here's what we can do to fix this. Or like when NBA players go on strike and say, we want more ownership. Like, that would be encouraging for the Black community to see, like, you know what, these players are saying, you know what, we need ownership, and we need, to be properly represented.
Man, great answer, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got a little smarts back there. I knew there was something special about you.
A little smart. The principal of Sankofa, you taught me that.
Well, anyway, long live Ali. He'll definitely live in our hearts and minds.
I'll show you how great I am.
Man, real talk.
Straight up.
Real talk. Well, small business owners, it's time to be honest about how you feel when you're dealing with your day-to-day admin work. Admit it, you can't stand it. It's a total grind. The truth is, over 5 million small business owners feel exactly the same way until they discovered this company called FreshBooks. Have you heard of FreshBooks?
FreshBooks, no, I don't know about that one.
Well, for those of you that haven't heard about FreshBooks, listen up. These folks are on a serious mission to help small business owners save time and avoid a lot of stress that comes with running their business. FreshBooks is the dead simple cloud accounting software that's transforming how small business owners handle their paperwork. Using FreshBooks to create and send an invoice literally takes about 30 seconds. There's no formula or formatting, just perfectly crafted invoices every time. And this is perfect for me because there are so many times where I send an invoice and it takes the client like 200 million days to pay me.
Net infinity.
Exactly, net infinity. So like this would probably be perfect for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, your clients can pay you online, which often means you end up getting paid a lot faster. There's a super handy deposit feature. You can also invoice for a payment up front when you're kicking off a project. FreshBooks can even show you whether or not a client has looked at the invoice you've emailed.
Check
because
those
that's why it takes so long, because
Exactly
I send the bad boy and it's like, whoa, you know what I'm saying?
Achille, junk mail.
Exactly. This is only a fraction of what FreshBooks can do for you. FreshBooks has created a super intuitive tool that makes creating and sending invoices extremely simple. It's fast, all online with instant notifications. Plus, send automatic late payment reminders. And you can create custom branding to reflect your business. You might need this for your brand, my dude.
Okay.
You owe it to yourself to feel the full effect of FreshBooks on you and on your small business. Plus, if you have any questions, they have great customer service. It's absolutely fantastic. No robots, real folks, real people.
That's what's up.
They care so much that if you come for some reason after 4 rings, someone from customer service can't pick up your call will be routed to all employees at FreshBooks, so you're guaranteed to get help. I like that.
Whoa,
actually.
That's dope.
That's very dope. For a 30-day free trial, just go to freshbooks.com/geek, GEEK, and enter Geek Nerd Tech in the How Did You Hear About Us section. Once again, that's freshbooks.com/geek. Enter Geek Nerd Tech in the How Did You Hear About Us section.
That is dope.
Okay.
That is dope.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we are almost wrapping up, but I want to ask you about some like geek and pop culture stuff, man. Pacific Rim 2. Is that on your radar yet?
I'm interested. I'm interested because the first Pacific Rim, I was talking to someone about it too. I was kind of torn. But the second one, it's on my radar.
Okay. Did you not like the first one?
I wouldn't say I didn't like it. It just kind of like 50-50.
Okay. What were your takes about it? Like, what could have been better, or what didn't land for you?
I don't know. It's something a special place in my heart with like big giant robots with Power Rangers. No, it was good. It's just it's not something I'm going out like going crazy over or anything like that.
Right. Okay, I feel you.
How'd you feel?
But
visually stunning though.
Visually stunning. Incredible. I actually like Pacific Rim. I think I liked it better than Godzilla. I'll go on record saying that. I think it's better than Godzilla.
Well, and I believe Guillermo did the first Pacific Rim. He's dope.
Very dope.
He's so dope. But yeah, Godzilla was cool. But yeah, the second Pacific Rim.
We'll see. Yeah. They have John Boyega as lead
from Star Wars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that should be kind of cool.
Yeah, that's dope. And I'm glad to see he's progressing and getting more roles. That's what's
up. For sure. Have you seen Captain America yet?
Yes.
Okay. Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Captain America was a thumbs up.
Okay, tell me why, real quick.
I thought it was dope. Just seeing everything. It did feel a little Avengers 3.
Okay.
But first of all, seeing my brother from Wakanda, come in, that was dope.
Okay. X-Men.
X-Men I haven't seen yet.
Okay.
Yeah, every opportunity for some reason something comes up.
Batman versus Superman.
Batman vs Superman, it was cool.
Cool. Wow. I don't feel the energy, bro.
Yeah, cool. Cool isn't like dope.
Okay.
but
it's like whatever.
Yeah, like I don't know what it was. It was just a feeling that some of the storyline. I felt like, and I understand they had to do a lot of heavy lifting in one film to conjoin like these two storylines, but it felt like a lot.
Got you.
Like it was a lot to digest. Like the Avengers is very like high level stuff. Or,
of course.
All the Marvel stuff is very high level.
Of course.
But DC, since they're just trying to really make this another franchise, that whole Justice League thing, I felt like they had to do so much heavy lifting in Batman vs Superman that
it watered it down.
Yeah. How'd you feel?
I kind of agree with you. I do agree with you. I feel like the top half of the movie was great. Yeah. I feel like the last scene, the Doomsday scene, was a bit nuts.
Yeah, because and low-key, like some of the stuff, low-key, I almost walked out when he was like rising up in the beginning.
And like that's.
I almost walked out.
It didn't even look right. Like the CG didn't look right. You know, so. But I felt like Affleck did a great job.
Yeah, I thought he was dope.
And I forget her name, but I felt like Wonder Woman was awesome.
It's something Gadot. Jill or Gal Gadot. I believe it's Gal Gadot.
She was fresh to death.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see her joint.
That's why I think Wonder Woman might be stronger as an independent film.
100.
Yeah. How you feel about Aquaman?
Man, stop it, dog. You had that poster on your wall.
You don't know how to swim, man, but it's all good.
Hey, it's all good, bro. Well, man, let's get into you, bro. So you have a brand called Hope and Hustle, man. I want you to tell our listeners what that's all about, man. What is Hope and Hustle?
Okay, so Hope and Hustle, it's a lifestyle brand. It's something that was concepted when I was back in school. And to be frank, my boy and I were struggling in our last year of school. And we needed something to motivate us, and so it actually used to write, we're gonna hustle and we're gonna hope we finish. And so something that we did was we wrote that down, and then we flipped it, and you're like, let's hope and hustle, and it became like a brand name to represent everything that we did. So once we started saying that, that was our through line for all of our work, trying to be excellent at everything we did, and then we put it on t-shirts. and people instantly resonated with it as soon as they see it. Like, you don't have to explain hope and hustle, you just say it.
Right.
And people
and you get
like,
it.
Yeah, and you get it, and you understand the mantra, and if it applies to your life, you recognize it.
And you use it.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, on site you get it, but man, explain the dichotomy, because I think even with a further deeper explanation, like, it even makes it more like attractive and valuable, like, go run it.
Right. I mean, well, so the word choice it is very specific.
Right.
And so when we talked about hope, we understood that you had to combine faith, like your belief that you can do something, with the actual hustle and muscle to get it done.
100.
Right. So when we say hope and hustle, we feel like you can't separate the two. You can't just hope for things.
You need both.
Right. You can't just hope for things to happen and then not do anything about it, like, because it's not. And then if you hustle aimlessly, you know, if you don't have that belief that what you're doing is going to work, then, you know, you might be hustling backwards. So when we combine the two, we realize that they have to be together. You have to have hope that you can have things that are unseen, things that you're not familiar with, things that seem unreachable, and believe that it'll happen, and then have the hustle to go towards
execute it.
Right.
Man, that's powerful, bro. That's super powerful.
So we're trying to put that on products now. You can go to hopeandhustle.com. That's where we have our products. We're just starting out. But we have, you know, t-shirts and sweaters and things like that. And, you know, we're eventually getting to the point where we create content to show the stories of people that reflect that. Like, you're one of them. You know, like there's tons of people that have that same storyline that reflect the mantra. So we want to put them out there.
Got you. So give me a little backstory about you, because I know you've worked in the entertainment industry and the ad world, like, and how have those experiences helped kind of like prepare you to manage and staff your own brand? Right.
Mainly advertising. Advertising was my first step out of college, and that was the most formative experience I had as far as career-wise, because I worked with a legend in advertising, Jimmy Smith, at Amusement Park Entertainment. I mean,
I know Jimmy.
Yeah, one of the dopest ever. You know, so I worked with him, and just being able to like see how he did things and how he was able to say, you know what, that's good, but be great. Okay. And that's great, but be excellent.
So he brought more out you.
Yeah, like he forced it. Like he said that, you know, when you're right, because I was a writer, man, he said when you're writing, like, write it, that first one may be good, but you can do better, no matter what.
Yeah, even if it's already like great, people love it.
Right,
Try
exactly.
Again.
Do it better, you know.
100.
And so, you know, when I was younger, I didn't get it. I used to get frustrated, like, but this one's good.
Right.
You know, but now I realize that as, you know, I'm building my own company and working at in an entertainment company as well in the 9 to 5, that's something I do now, you know, so like it's the first thing I do, you know, like that's good, but I know it can be better.
Yes, sir.
And I expect that out of everybody I work with. I know that people expect that out of me.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So what does the next 5 years look like for Hope and Hustle?
The next 5 years, the first couple of years, we're trying to get the apparel and products off and running. We read a lot of books about startups and how to, you know, create a startup that, especially when you're working at the same time, you know, you may not have the same amount of hours, you know, to put into it. So we're trying to be really strategic about how we launch on these next couple of steps. So once we do the apparel, then the next step is do the content. Once we do the content, the next step is to do experiences. Man, and so that'll be the triangle of Hope and Hustle.
Okay, so tell the folks where they can find Hope and Hustle. Again.
Yeah, you can go to hopeandhustle.com, and that's where you can buy the apparel that's available now. And then you can check back in, and we'll soon have content living there as well.
What about on the social side for Hope and Hustle?
On the social side, on your Instagram as well, instagram.com/hopeandhustle, or you can search us and follow us, please.
Hey, yes, sir. This is an awesome brand. I've actually purchased a lot of the products. I love the concept. It's something that's positive. Their brother's doing some great things in the community, and it has a great message. So I would encourage everyone out there to support it. And this is just a great person to know, and a great brother in general. And I appreciate you having you on the show, man. Like it's been a long time coming, and I'm glad you got to come up and talk technology with me. And I'd love to have you back if you would like back. Yes, sir, man. Back. Yes, sir. So where can the folks find you?
They can find me, like I said, on Facebook. If you still have one of those, you can find me on Facebook under Jerome Daughtry, and then Twitter and Instagram. Rome is like ROME is like.
Okay, my man.
You can find me.
And the folks can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Akili Shine, AKILISHINE.
Yeah.
And as always, thank you again, brother. And I appreciate everyone out there listening. And we'll see you next week on GNT.
Peace.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio, Instagram at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood Redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.